Our next guest, a big supporter of entrepreneurship, as I'm sure she will be explaining to you, is Senator Karen Spilka, representative for the 2nd Middlesex and Norfolk County Districts. Correct?
Yes. Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me
So
here.
why does a senator, a state senator, want to be on Radio Entrepreneurs?
Because I agree with all that you do, and I agree that it's really important that we foster and build entrepreneurship and keep with the innovation economy here in Massachusetts. That's what really has set Massachusetts apart. We can't rest on our laurels. We need to keep moving forward. And I think people don't connect the State House or the legislature with public policy that can help foster entrepreneurship.
Nice. That's music to my ears. So what are you doing on a day-to-day basis that supports that? You have a lot of initiatives, don't you?
Yes, and to foster a lot of initiatives. Just to go back a couple of years, back in 2008, I was appointed the Senate Chair of Economic Development and Emerging Technologies, and people came to me and said, what are you going to do to create jobs? And I had been a senator, I was a lawyer, I was a social worker. I had never been, I had my own small business, but it wasn't on this scale. So not knowing exactly what to do, we took the committee out on the road to listen to people who wanted to build on their entrepreneurial independent spirit, listening to businesses. What could we do? Listening to employers, listening to people looking for jobs. And that's where a lot of our ideas came from. So I want to start out by saying I think it's really important for people to be aware, if they have ideas in any of these areas, to contact their state representative, to contact their state senator, because often we can put ideas to paper, to public policy, whether it be through legislation or budget, which you'll hear me speak about. So there are various state resources for entrepreneurs and small businesses in Massachusetts. But I do want to say that one of the major public policy areas that has kept us number one in the innovation economy in the nation is the fact that we are number one in education. In terms of current state resources for folks to know, we have the Mass Office for Business Development, which is called MOBD, that has a lot of resources that it can help steer an entrepreneur to get either financial support or mentoring support or whatever. They have incentives and basic help. I think MOBD is a great start for businesses. We also have regional economic development organizations. So depending where an entrepreneur lives, they can go to a regional economic development organization. And that was created in 2010 when we had one of the economic development bills go through the legislature that I wrote that did a lot. It created these regional one-stop shopping centers. So if somebody needed resources and did not know where to go, we realized that their efforts should be towards building their business and what they're doing. While I was chair of economic development, I also was chair of the Jobs Creation Commission that we took again on the road. 2-3 years later, we took around the state, speaking to hundreds of businesses. We advertised it. We had hearings, we had forums, hundreds of businesses, business people looking for work, just found work. What are the barriers to growing their business, starting a business, finding a job? And again, a lot of themes came up, and so we ended up building on the economic development legislation of 2010, which, again, I heard things like we have lack of access to capital, so we created the Mass Growth Capital Corp in that bill of 2010. We created the Mass Marketing Partnership because the marketing and the creative economy and trade and importation, exportation should be and is such an incredible part of our economy, but we can even do better. Research shows kids work here in Massachusetts, they get connected, they meet people.
They build a network.
They build a network, they stay.
Right.
And we want to keep them not only, for as an employee, but for their talent and what their creative ideas are. So we created a tech internship. And we've done a lot of other things with that. And then in 2014, in the beginning of this current legislative cycle, as part of being chair of the Job Creations Commission, I filed a bill, again, based on a lot of things that I had heard going around the state that the state still needed to do. There's always great ideas out there, so it's a never-ending well to come back to.